All right, good morning, good afternoon. This is the May 24th Jupyter Dev meeting. I'm Jamie, and as the project manager for Jupyter, I've been working on a number of things, namely working on steps in the hiring process for our postdocs. It looks like Mike Piecer will come online sometime in early June. I've also been working on putting together a statement of work, working with Carol to put out a request for proposal for a tech writer, and we've been working through some of the language in that statement of work. Otherwise, just a lot of odds and ends. I'm still doing some training, ramping up with both the Berkeley side and the Jupyter side. What else?
I think that's
keeping track of Matthias and Fernando.
I found it definitively hard to get a hold on.
Yeah. So I think that's about it. If anything else comes up, I'll speak up during the meeting. So Peter, would you like to give us a rundown of what you've been working on?
Sure. Team and I have been focusing on the dashboard's work. We're trying to get it to a point where we can put in the enhancement proposal to graduate out of the incubator. I think the next release is probably where we're going to start thinking about that or drafting it so people could start commenting. Kind of important things I think might involve questions of other people. I don't know if Sylvan's on, but one of my teammates, Javier Pedamonte, actually fixed that crazy async IPy widgets bug that got introduced in some recent release 5.0, I think. And mostly just looking to see if Sylvan can cut a new patch release with that fix, because it's actually impacting us in the dashboard's work. And I think it might also be the cause or part of the cause of custom widgets not working in the notebook now too. But I don't think Sylvan's here, so I'll try to get with him on Gitter or something like that. And the only other thing besides what I wrote there in the hackpad was I saw there was a new incubator project. And I was wondering if anyone has any information on that. I didn't see a proposal, so I was just curious, what it is. And I see Damian actually asked the same question there in the hackpad. So,
who's running that? Whose project does it fall under?
I don't know. That's my question.
Where did you find it so the rest of us can kind of follow your
Were you asking me, or?
Like if I were to go look into it, where would I go?
It's in a Jupyter incubator organization.
Okay.
Yeah. The link is there. Yeah, I have no other information. I just spotted it today because I happened to land on the incubator page looking at the projects and said, oh, what's this? And, didn't see a proposal. I was just curious what it is primarily.
Okay.
That's it for me. I think Carol's. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I just want to make sure we can close the loop. How do we get that question answered?
Oh, we asked why it has been open and why there has not been for a proposal.
Oh, okay. And who does that? Is it a new person?
Someone have to do it.
Okay. Who's someone?
My guess is because it's come from Microsoft, apparently it's probably something that was done with Brian when he was in Seattle.
Okay. So I can follow up with Brian and hope that have him communicate to the rest of the team what that is, and also make those notes in GitHub so it's clear in the our development documentation. Make sure that the right process is followed, so we all know what it is.
Sure.
That sound good?
Yeah, thanks. I think Carol's next on the list, but I think Carol said she's just listening. So after that, Stephen. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Been working with Jason on the refactor of how models and kernels are handled in Jupyter Lab. We're going to discuss the status of that after this meeting. Jason and I were both out last Friday, so we missed the Jupyter Lab meeting, and that was postponed. So any comments on that PR list are welcome, and if anyone wants to join our discussion, we'll be on peer.in/Jupyter after this.
I think it's me next. So yeah, I've been continuing the work on the web support of the Qt console. And last week, I pushed the initial version of the tooltip, which there's a lot of varieties of behavior, and I asked people to chime in. I had one call about it, but if anyone else wants to, I've linked to the issue, and anyone can talk about it there. And this week, and half of last week, I was working on the tab code completion feature, and I hope to get that done sometime in the next couple days. That's me, and looks like Matthias is next.
Nothing really worth mentioning except IPython 5.0 is coming close to a beta. We have less than 20 open issue and PR combined. So we're trying to get through it. I hope to release an IPython 5.0 for end of June, so that we have that for SciPy. And it will be the long-time support version. So also trying to stabilize tricklets at the same time, because IPython 5 will rely on tricklets. And so still 3 critical bugs in Notebook 4.2 that I'd like some help to fix, which are still mostly the same thing, which is like the require and a Webpack that has 2 namespace. And also, if you have a broken kernel, you still cannot switch. To fix that, because a lot of people are on 4.2, and I'm still amazed that they don't complain that much. I mean, at least there are critical fixes for 5.0, and we won't release 5.0 if these are not fixed. So it would be nice to get some help on that. And that's it.
What does the release process look like for IPython 5.0?
Like every release process, you technically should be able to just press a button and you have a new version. The longest part is to actually write a blog post and make sure the documentation is up to date with how to upgrade on that. But there shouldn't be much change than usual.
Okay.
There is not many new features in IPython.
Okay. Is it standard practice for this group to have all that documentation in place before something gets released?
It depends on which project. Like most of the projects, like Jupyter Client, Jupyter Core, and that are dependency, you don't really need to do that, because you just release new version to fix bugs. IPython is more like user-facing, so you might want to have something which is slightly more involved.
Okay. And who would write that in this case?
Probably the people most involved in the release. So for IPython 5, it would probably be Thomas and me, I guess, for the blog post, and maybe some help with Carol for the new landing page, which shouldn't change much. It's just like what's new and what to expect, and what API being removed.
Okay. How do you? Is that okay with you, Carol? Maybe some more discussion. I know you're limited by what you can say here.
Yeah, I plan on contacting you once we're ready for your when we need your help.
With some advance notice.
Sure. I mean, it's in a few weeks, so I guess it will be mostly fine.
Okay, so that can be on everybody's radar to look ahead and know that that's coming down the road, and there's going to be some writing that's involved, and I can go about.
It's just mostly polishing. So.
Okay. Okay. Great. Nick.
Everybody. So I think we've actually got the date now for Jupyter Day Atlanta, August 13. We're gonna have a little thing on August 12 as well. It's not the full shooting match. Been working with Anna on that, but I know she's been on the road. So we're going to start setting up a weekly meeting for that. And, if anybody thinks they might be in the area, we'd love to have anybody from core team available for workshops or talk or whatever. We haven't set a keynote yet or anybody like that, but, got a really good community here, so it's good. There's the ongoing discussion of how to start moving non-core Jupyter things into Anaconda. A number of folks out there, Ivan and Peter and a couple other folks have all weighed in there. So, it's pretty interesting. if anybody has things that they want to, yeah, we'll want those ports issues fixed for sure. So
Hey, Nick, you're muddy. I don't know if it's just on my end. Can everybody else on the call hear him okay? Nods or yes? Okay. I guess it's just us.
oh, sorry. I'll speak more slowly and clearly.
It's just a little muddy. Yeah.
Well, all right, why don't I turn off my video? You don't need to see me.
I missed that beer.
Okay. So anyhow, so those are a big deal for my little world, and I'll certainly be looking into what Matthias is talking about there. You know, the big thing there is we are hoping to make Conda Forge a big part of that story because it's, you know, a really robust way to get your stuff tested and packaged on a bunch of different architectures instead of just the one, you know, Travis TI or something like that. And related to Conda Forge, we just as a thing to start learning about it, you have Cookie Cutter, which is kind of the Python equivalent sort of Yeoman for doing packages or skeletons of packages. And it's worth checking out. First one, Widget Cookie Cutter, is pretty good. We'll probably want to do some other ones for like, here's a server extension, here's a other kind of ND extension, whatever. Then there's just that ongoing discussion on the extension proposal about the layout metadata that Peter and I started up back at the dev meeting. And I think we've kind of agreed that there really isn't anything necessarily on layouts that we're going to be doing. But back to the story of, you know, what does metadata mean? How can we make metadata make notebooks mean more with metadata? So if anybody's interested in things like that, that's what's going on at that sort of saga discussion there. That's it for me.
Cool. Who's next? Thomas. Thomas, are you with us still?
Without video, we probably can't
Okay. We will move to the next person.
I think we changed the meeting format away from going through a list of people just saying what we've been doing for the last week.
We did.
But if we ask people to just speak and take the screen, nobody wants to be first.
All right, there is nothing that I have specifically to report verbally.
Okay.
Damien is probably not attending, and I don't see him on the list. No. Jason, do you have something worth mentioning? You're muted.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I wasn't talking. So the big thing I think I would bring to the group is just please give Darian feedback, and Steve and I will be getting the Jupyter Lab notebook up and running. We need feedback. So if you can, I have a server extension that makes it very easy to install Jupyter Lab to give feedback. I'm happy to send out instructions for that to the dev group here. But we just need feedback about the console, about the notebook, etc.
Okay, I think an email would be useful to the team.
Is it so Brian Granger did not want the server extension going out to the general public at this point, okay. Because it sets the expectations too high. Okay. How about I put the link in the notes here to a server extension that you can install that will bring up Jupyter Lab, a current Jupyter Lab.
And we make a nightly release of the notebook as we discussed on the mailing list?
Say what?
Don't we make a nightly release of the notebook?
We could. I mean, that's a whole nother discussion, and I was just trying to get feedback in the next few days for Darian and for Steve and I. And this is the easiest way to just get something out there that people could install and give some feedback on.
But even though we didn't want to make it public, we sort of said that using a server extension was probably cleaner than having JupyterLab hard-coded into the notebook repo as it is now. And then we also mentioned that it could be a good thing to actually have even the current notebook be a server extension, in that the server would just be bare and every single front end could be a server extension to it. Eventually.
Yes, sure. Eventually.
Anyway, I'll post a link. I'll make the server extension, post a link to it. Actually, so Darian, I guess we have to get your stuff into Jupyter.js plugins first, right? Right now it's just in the notebook repo. Okay, so we'll get that. We'll get the Jupyter.js plugins updated, and then I'll post a server extension at least for the devs here to install and give us some feedback on the console and the notebook specifically.
Are there any people within the dev group that you would like feedback from specifically?
You, everyone. Brian in particular, Fernando, Peter, I mean, everyone here I think would give good feedback from a variety of use cases. So, yeah, and just realize it's, definitely still a work in progress and very alpha level and stuff like that. But feedback as far as Darian's decisions, as far as tooltips, he's been asking for feedback. We'll have some feedback about sort of document manager design if you want to go into the code, or just standard installing and seeing what you think. Okay, so I'll post, when we get that in Jupyter.js plugins, I'll post a link in these notes, or maybe it'll be next Friday and I'll just mention it in the dev meeting, or next Tuesday and I'll mention it in the dev meeting again.
Okay. I can also help you, by sending an email out to folks.
Oh, yeah. Right, sure. Yeah. Great, thanks. Good point.
Information. I can push that along.
Yeah, thanks.
Sure.
And Sylvain is last.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. Not much on my side. Besides, there is one client visible thing I did this week, which is to make a comprehensive tutorial on how to lay out widgets in reactive layouts using Flexbox layout attributes, so that you can build things like forms or even dashboards using nested Flexbox widgets. So it's in the master branch of IPyWidgets now.
Great.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone else that we didn't cover today? It looks like we hit everybody on the participant list. How's everybody feeling about the format of the meeting, the length, content? This one was pretty short, about 20 minutes. No strong opinions either way, so that's good. Friday, I just want to check in on our Jupyter Lab meeting. Are we still planning to have it this week? Everybody's here, available?
Yep, I'm planning on it. Again, the purpose for the Jupyter Lab meeting is to hook in not just the people working on Jupyter Lab, because we have communication quite often between ourselves, but to hook in the wider community. So Brian, Matthias, Peter, etc., welcome to join. That's the purpose for the meeting, is to be available for you guys and to connect with you guys about the progress.
Yeah, and then not last week, but the week before, we had several guests. We had Pablo, right? And then somebody from Microsoft, Alexandra.
That's right.
Are they? Do you know if Alejandro? Will they be regular attendees, or are they going to pop in and out as they need support, do you think?
I think Pablo is building an extension on Jupyter Lab, so he's probably going to come hop in from time to time. Yeah.
Oh, great. The more the merrier. Okay. All right. Anything else? No? All right. If you guys don't have anything else, we can close up today's meeting and continue the conversation with Steve and Jason on appear.in/Jupyter. Okay, great. I'll stop the recording.